First question: what are the big changes for labor markets we should expect because of the rise of the fourth industrial revolution?
Well, we should expect big changes to happen throughout the labor market, mainly in manufacturing, which is already showing those big changes, and also in jobs and professions generally, which relied on the processing of data. Because we're accumulating more and more data from labor markets and also from general economic behavior, we have bigger and bigger computers that can store that data and process it. And sooner or later, artificial intelligence programs will be developed that will be using that data for other people who remain employed to take them on and move them to the second stage. But currently, there are many, many jobs where the main activity of the person is data processing, and those jobs are the biggest threat.
Okay. So, how artificial intelligence could change the financial industry in the upcoming years?
Well, for the financial industry, you need to think along the same lines, in that almost anything in the financial industry that relies on collecting information about an individual, deciding, for example, whether to give a loan to an individual on the basis of an interview, all those things will change completely. We've already seen some of the biggest changes, in fact, in the financial sector through ATM machines, which are completely new. When they were completely new, say 20 years ago, maybe 30 years ago, what we're seeing now is the use of the mobile phone for financial transactions. I think it's a good development because it ensures more inclusiveness, because mobile phone use is so widespread. We're seeing, I was saying before, the approval of loans done only on the internet. We're going to see it's almost like a technological revolution taking place in the financial industry through fintech.
Okay. So now I would like to ask you, I think which is a tough question, but it's Colombia has been historically a closed country, but in recent years we have received a large flow of immigrants from Venezuela. So I would like to hear your thoughts on what can we do to facilitate the social and economic integration of this new wave of immigrants into the country.
Well, that's, as you say, it's a very difficult question, especially since the immigrants are concentrated in certain parts of the country, mainly, and they're a very big number in relation to the size of the country and the size of the economy. So integration is not going to be easy, and it will certainly not be quick. But I do believe, though, that the best way to integrate an influx of new, if you think of it as an economy, so the new supply of labor into an economy, is to make sure that the structure of the labor market is as flexible as possible for the creation of new jobs, the creation of new businesses, the administrative procedures and burdens for opening a new business should be as small as possible. The ability of firms to take on workers at market rates of wages and dismiss them if they no longer have a job should be as flexible again, and companies should be able to do it. And if it's like that, then over time, new labor gets absorbed into the economy. Of course, the normal rate at which labor is absorbed is much lower than what has been experienced in Colombia recently. The normal rate of absorption is mainly through school leavers, but then you get people retiring at the other end, school leavers coming in, and then there's an adjustment in the labor market, and that adjusts within months. But the entry of such big numbers would require years, but it's essential that the labor market is organized on flexible and open, if you like, arrangements, so that new jobs can be created and new business can be started. In that sense, the high minimum wage that you have in Colombia is not going to help in this integration. In fact, it's going to work against it, because all these new immigrants are going to move into informality. Informality is not a state of job or state of activity in the labor market that helps integration. fact, it helps more in the segmentation of labor market and integration. So that's going to cause a lot of difficulties.